Arnulf von Gahn was mopping up the bunkers on the Maginot Line.
Die Verteidigung der Bunker war sehr bescheiden.
The defence of the bunkers was very shambolic. After the news of Paris falling on the first day of its attack, the French forces were very demoralised. This must have contributed to the surprising speed with which we finished off the bunkers. The French defenders gave up their fight relatively quickly.
Die Franzosen verhältnismäßig schnell den Kampf in der Festung aufgaben.
Ja, es war natürlich so, dass der Sieg über die Franzosen, der rasche Sieg...
Of course, this very quick victory over the French and the success of this new tank strategy gave us great confidence.
Uns großes Selbstvertrauen gab.
On the 22nd of June 1940, in the same railway carriage where the Germans had been forced to surrender at the end of the First World War, French General Hunziker now signed an armistice with Hitler. Many people, both French and English, accused the French leaders of defeatism. However, a large proportion of the population of France was pleased that, for them, the fighting was over.
Für die Zeit nach Beendigung der Kampfhandlungen in
After the fighting had ended in France, I can say that we had, on the whole, a very good relationship with the French population.
Und ich weiß noch, dass durch das ganze Heer ein Befehl...
And I can still remember an order that was circulated. It was circulated throughout the whole army that 2 soldiers had taken liberties with a French woman. It wasn't rape, but it was attempted rape. Both were shot, and this was made known throughout the whole army.
Aber es war der Versuch, wurden beide erschossen. Und das wurde im ganzen Heer bekannt gemacht.
In den Vogesen fanden wir eine französische Bevölkerung.
On the whole, we found that the French population was happy when they heard from us that the war was over. And during occupation, they weren't that unfriendly towards us. In fact, the young women were very friendly.
For a few young French women, the good looks of the German invaders may have been the main concern, but for the Allies as a whole, the rapid capitulation of France was a major blow. The collapse of France led to defeatism in some circles. On board HMS Valiant, Jock Erskine heard a depressing sermon from the chaplain. But after the service, the captain told the sailors to stay behind. He had something to say.
Well, I can't repeat what he said, but what he meant was, take no bloody notice of what he's been saying. He said, we're here to fight, and fight we will, even if we have to go as a pirate and sail the seas from now to kingdom come. This is what we'll do, and sink the enemy whenever we get a chance, and bomb and kill. So don't let me have any nonsense about this. We're not going anywhere but fight.
The French fleet, when the French capitulated, were lying in a place called Mers el Kabir, and there were several battleships, cruisers, destroyers. We just could not allow all those ships to fall into the German hands.
Once France had capitulated, it was vital to the Allies that French warships weren't commandeered by the Germans. In March 1940, France and Britain had signed an agreement that neither would sue for peace without the consent of the other. Churchill offered to release France from this agreement in return for the French fleet meeting one of three conditions. Either join forces with the British, disable the ships and take them to a safe harbour, or scuttle them within 6 hours. The Royal Navy went to Mers El Kabir to force the issue.
And we steamed down to this place called Mers El Kabir.
And we sat for 6 hours, mind, parleying with them.
On the 3rd of July 1940, the French Admiral Jean Sou met the British admirals, who reiterated the three options and stressed that they would open fire on the French fleet if no decision was made.
No one told us about the terms of the discussions going on between Admiral Jensu and Admiral Somerville and their intermediary, Captain Holland, commander of the famous Ark Royal. No one told us anything. We knew that something was going to happen, but we were kept in the dark, especially at my rank.
And they were stolen. They were stolen in Iran.
But unfortunately, the Admiral was a bit pro-German, and he would not capitulate.
At 5:15 that evening, Admiral Jean Sou rejected the British ultimatum. At 5 to 6, HMS Hood opened fire on the French fleet.
We were in our gun turret when we saw the English open fire. The man at the gun had a very good view, along with the captain, and he cried out, "Here we go! They've started firing!"
Once the Hood opened fire, Valiant and Resolution quickly followed suit.
We opened fire with the 15-inch guns. Resolution hit the French battleship Bretagne and sunk her.
Only 12 days earlier, the French and British navies had been fighting in unison. Now, in 20 minutes, the French fleet was destroyed by its former ally.
Everyone had a radio set at the time, so we could all hear, "Help us! Save us!" I can still hear it ringing in my ears. Still! I took off my headset and threw it away. Young sailors, officers, murdered. And I really can say murdered. You can't imagine how terrible it was.
1,147 French sailors were killed. Another 370 were wounded.
There was a lot of casualties, but at the time, although we knew that they were really in some ways allies to us, there was nothing we could do.